Alright guys, just got our first fish of the morning. We are starting off using the neck shad in the finger mullet color. Came out, it's been a grind so far. We might have just found an area that's got some fish. Started off on the twin span, the corner of the twin span. Caught some really nice fish there yesterday. When I got out there, the tide's falling really hard, way too hard for that spot. So I'm moving around trying to find an area that's good on like a above average tide. You know, a place that, like right here, that's got a nice little current rip coming off these rocks. And there's different places in the lake that are good when the tide's really slow, and there's places out here that are good when the tide's really fast. So this is more of a, you know, place I like to look at when the tide's rolling. So let's see if they're here. Got one. Right up on that rock point right there. Oh, look at that trout jumping out the water. Puppy came clean out the water right there. So, as you can see, we got a hard falling tide coming from this direction, and what it's doing, all that water is getting pushed into this cove, and then it's whipping around this point right here. Fish are setting up right in this current line, and I can see it. I can visually see this current line breaking off of this point. And I'm throwing up into about, I don't know, 3 to 5 foot of water and working it out to about 7 or 8. So you don't need a real big jig head here. And when it's relatively shallow like this, you can catch them a lot of different ways. Got a nice little school of fish right here. Let's see if we can get them going. There he was, right there. This thing, I felt that one, and he felt me, so I doubt he's gonna bite again, but that's a pretty good fish right there. Definitely 15, 16 inches. I'm just doing the old poncha-train pop, using that finger mullet on a 3/8 ounce screw lock. 5/16 would work good here too. And I'm throwing it up pretty tight to these rocks, letting that current kind of sweep it back towards the back of the boat.
Hey, I'm Baron Brechtel with Hook On. Just wanted to let y'all know Hook On and Matrix Shad are partnering up for the next Matrix box. Visit matrixshad.com to get your great pair of hook-ons and awesome fishing products today.
With all of the coastal restoration and things, that's what this is here, some type of plan where these rocks are relatively new. They've only been here about a year or two, but every year it seems like some kind of man-made project either creates a new fishing spot for us or it destroys a fishing spot as they try to protect the land, which is much more important than catching fish. I've had a lot of great fishing spots get filled in by some type of land building project. But I've also had plenty of spots that I've never fished before that became pretty good fishing spots due to a situation like this here, where you have a really nice rock shoreline that's creating a nice current break around it. So every year, every estuary, it just changes. The one thing that I can guarantee that will happen is change itself. Things in the fishing world they're just always going to change. Nothing lasts forever. Nothing stays the same forever. We get new spots, we lose spots, and you just got to adapt with the situation at hand. Catch up to him, baby. Oh! I hit that fish and he was swimming right at me. That's why I like to use a real high speed gear ratio, is for that reason right there. That way, as you heard me say, catch up to him. You want to, I can feel when they're swimming at me after they eat the lure, and I'm trying to burn that reel in as fast as I can. That way I can create the pressure back on the fish. I just couldn't quite get that one, because if you let that slack settle back in that line and he's shaking that head on the way up, you're just giving him an opportunity to get that hook out his mouth. Oh man, let's have some little ones in there too. But you just want to keep that tension on there. When you have a fish hooked, you want that tension at all times. You don't want any slack in that line. That's a good fish. I hope this is a trout. Oh yeah, oh yeah. That one would have came up and hit a jerk bait. Ooh, that's what I'm talking about right there. Right there, baby. Finger mullet X shad, golden eye screw lock. So we call a chunk. By far the best fish of the day. Got him, he's only got one eye. One eye Willie. What I'm doing is just trying to create different angles with this tide ripping around the point. Some casts I'm going this way, dragging it back against the tide. Some I'm throwing it into the current and bringing it back. I don't think there's enough fish here for me to find a exact pattern to it. But that's what you want to do when you find fish schooled up a little bit. They're going to favor a certain angle that you present that bait. And a lot of times when we're out fishing, and if we got the hot hand and there's some boats around us and we're catching them, we get the same question all the time. What color are you using? What color are you using? It has nothing to do with that. It's either we're using the correct size jig head, that way the bait's getting to the bottom, or we just have the right angle that those fish want, And I've had times out here before where another group of anglers have the correct angle and I can't get in on it, but I know better than to just sit there and keep changing colors. That's a waste of time. You might want to reposition the boat a little bit without getting in the angler's way. See if you can create an angle yourself, but sometimes it's just enough fish for one boat. And I can tell you right now, this spot right here is just enough for one boat. They got a little school of fish hanging off this point, but I'm having to grind for them. It's not easy. There he is. I was looking down at my watch. Oh, just got him in the boat. Looking down at my watch, somebody just texted me. I feel something trying to pull this X-Shad, pull that pole out of my hand. It's a little keeper. Alright, so I came down the whole rock shoreline for two reasons. One, to keep them honest, see if those fish were all the way down the shoreline, which they weren't. And then B, that little group that's up on that point up there, I just wanted to give them a little break. Maybe they'll regroup up. Maybe we can pull another 2, 3, 4 off of that little school. It's a tough day today. I'm not looking for a home run, really. You know, the day started off at thunderstorms and pretty wet weather to my west. Kind of had me handcuffed. The one place I wanted to get, tide's falling way too hard. So I've been bouncing around, looking for a place it's windy too, protected from the wind. Can't go to the west, thunderstorms everywhere, and that can handle this hard falling tide. So let's mosey on back to where we were catching some. I'm going to switch it up a little this time. Go to the 5/16 ounce, a little bit smaller screw lock on this finger mullet, and see if we can get another few off of here, and either call it a day or keep grinding. Today's a grind though. This isn't an easy one. All right. So what I like to do is when I'm covering water to see if the fish are there, even if it's kind of shallow, I'll use a overkill jig head, a little bit heavier, 3/8, half. Just helps me like get to the bottom quicker, cover ground. And if I find a section that's got fish like this here, and once I find the fish, if I don't have to really cover ground and I realize they're centrally located in one place, I'll try to downsize that jig head, giving it a slower fall rate. We know where the fish are now. Sometimes that can trigger a few more strikes. It just kind of stays in the strike zone a little bit longer than having that 1/2 ounce or 3/8 just fly through it. But it's a little bit harder to fish if the current and the wind's blowing kind of like it is now. So it's a catch-22. You got to still let it be able to get down to the bottom. So you can't go too light, like an 1/8 or a 1/4. I don't know if it's going to cut it right here. But a 5/16, I'm still making contact with the bottom. See if we can relocate that little school of fish. Put a few more in the boat. There he is. Oh, is he jumping out the water? Let's see if we can get a look at this. Skiing on in. Skiing on in. Whoa. I tried to turn the boat so you could see it. Look how dark this fish is. Look how dark. Hold on, pups. Give him a break. All right, guys. Well, I hope you learned something on this. Remember, good thing to do is use your heavier goldeneye screw locks when you're covering water looking for fish. Once you locate them, you can drop it down. We dropped it down at a 5/16. Very first or maybe second cast, bam, caught another one. If you're on a group of fish and you hit 5, 6, 7 in a row, maybe 20 in a row and they slow up, go check a spot or two, come back to them. Sometimes you just got to ease off of them. We call it you sore mouth them. If you hit too many, you broke the school up. This isn't a tremendous school we're on right here. This is a little bit smaller school, but so if I hit 4 or 5 of them, I break the school up, give them a rest. I might get another 3. Maybe get one more rest. You get 1 or 2 more. You got a little box. Pretty tough day, but found this spot right here. I've only fished it a few times in my life. I saw that falling tide coming around the corner. That's the key, guys. Cover ground. Keep your eyes peeled. You got to look around sometimes out here. Find new spots. Make sure to subscribe to the monthly bait box. Get your hands on some different size golden eye screw locks. Get your hands on these awesome finger mullet X-Shads. Come out here and get some nice ponch terrain trout. Till next time, good fishing.